That gold bar is glowing. Whoa! A submarine under the eye. Whoa! The cruise ship's in whoa! Huge. Whoa! 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 Wow! Whoa! Whoa! Alright, whoa! Whoa! Alright, whoa! 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 Whoa!
Alright, time to come out of retirement. I've mentioned before that I'll always be around to cover Meat Boy stuff, and this time is no exception. So buckle in, cause I'm gonna be rambling. One thing I never got around to covering that happened pretty recently was the Meat Boy crossover for Rift of the Necrodancer. It features some of the fan-favorite original Danny B tracks from Super Meat Boy remastered by Danny himself. The fact that we were able to get some new renditions of the tracks, even if they aren't a part of a proper Meat Boy title, is still really cool to see. Beyond that minor development, it's been crickets. No new Meat Boy stuff. Until yesterday, Team Meat released a trailer for Super Meat Boy 3D, a concept the Meat Boy community has been pining for a very long time. And I am very suspicious. My tinfoil hat is staying firmly on until we get way more info about the game. All of a sudden, all that fuck what you wanted, who gives a shit rhetoric from the Jennies in the Discord becomes even funnier. My desire for a 3D Meat Boy title isn't going to excuse the fact that for the past 5 years, Tommy Urfenis' company, Necrodancer, has been raking the franchise over the proverbial coals with a terrible Autorunner sequel that reeked of snobbiness and terrible game design choices that took away any aspect of fun. And this is before talking about the story, art, animation, music, or even the gameplay itself. Then we get a shovelware Puyo Puyo ripoff that takes away all the aspects of a puzzle game in place of grossly unfitting traps and even more gameplay aspects that just made it unfun and grindy. Then out of nowhere, out of the blue, in the golden age of 3D shovelware nonsense brought to you by Unreal and Unity, we get word of a new Meat Boy game in 3D. And it looks like every other Unity store asset flip game out there. If I was to ask ChatGPT to make me a Meat Boy game, this is what it would look like. There's not a whole lot of standout qualities to the art style, though thank God the animators are restricted to 3D, meaning they can't do that god-awful hand-morphing shit they did in the previous games. Also, Dr. Fetus has his arms back. One astute commenter was actually really happy with this. I'll say they did sorta complete Dr. Fetus's design by bringing the arms back first of all, and also seemingly giving him joysticks to control the suit with. Not knowing who's working on these fucking games gets me antsy to say stuff about them. If they got Dave Raposa to work on this game, it wouldn't surprise me since it's basically his design on the G Fuel box with the aforementioned joysticks, which I feel like I inspired by bringing up in a previous video or something. Also, thank God for no Nugget, unless she appears in the game as an NPC to give you time trials or some shit. Actually, never mind, I saw this screenshot on my Discord server and it looks like she's in a red warp zone. If you actually get to play as the baby and save the day, that would be fucking hilarious. Beyond the opening cutscene, the gameplay looks pretty cut and dry. Meat Boy can move 360 degrees with absolute control in the air, which is what you would include if you were to try and implement the tighter controls of the original game. And while the lighting looks pretty good, I can't predict how the game is actually going to play and how easy it's going to be to lose track of Meat Boy, but it looks stylish enough. Though for some reason I feel like a lot of the deaths in the trailer were not supposed to happen. I'm just hoping that's user error and not the game being a jank piece of crap, though some of those traps did look like they were hard to see ahead of time, much like another lovely Necrodancer game we know and love. As far as first trailers go, it does its job pretty well, but then again, SMBF and Mean Meat had pretty good looking trailers, and we know how those games went. That just has me hoping this game doesn't have any fuckery to pull with the A ranks and the S ranks and all that nasty shit that made the previous two games insufferable. The trailer might look cool, the gameplay might look fun, but if Tommy's involved with this one, I'm worried. There's no telling what kind of stuff he could pull, be it more A+ ranks that suffocate you with unfun par times, making the levels too long with bad checkpoints, the S rank existing at all. Like I said all the way at the beginning of the video, tinfoil hat is firmly on. I'm just gonna wait till it comes out, then play it. That's what I did with SMBF, that's what I did with Me Meat, and that's what I'll do for this game. I haven't lost or gained any respect for the new team, even if a 3D Meat Boy game has been a long sought after commodity. Glad they could give it to us in the age of easily pump-outable 3D games thanks to freeware. All I need's the game and the credits. Then I'll tell you if it's 3 for 3. Deal? Deal. Look, if you really want to know what I think about Super Meat Boy 3D, the simple answer is I don't know. History has shown that fairly fun ideas by the team have been squandered by completely unrelated things to the gameplay, be it the A ranks, the S ranks, the New Game Plus, and all that stuff. Though it seems like this one's being played totally straight. It wouldn't be fair to say that the team isn't capable of learning, but if you touch a stove twice and get burned, you gotta expect the third one to burn as well. Even if it seems like they're actually trying this time, I have to be cautious. Even if SMBF was a one-time flash flood of shit that was too overly pretentious and overcomplicated for its own good, it still put a bad taste in my mouth, and Mean Meat did not help it either. Hopefully they actually did some research into the original game and they can properly adapt it to 3D. If not, then you know the drill. This has been Bobo, and I hope you're having a good time. I'm pretty swamped with real life stuff, but stay tuned for more videos.